Here is a 600-word article without headings based on the latest developments from that video. Russia appears to have softened its long-standing opposition to Ukraine receiving security commitments from Western powers. According to US Special Envoy Steve Witkoff, during a summit in Alaska between President Trump and President Putin, Russia, for the first time, agreed to allow the United States and European allies to provide Ukraine with NATO-style, Article 5-like guarantees. Witkoff called this a game-changing moment. That concession encapsulates the dramatic pivot now unfolding in geopolitics. For years, Putin's resistance to NATO's eastward expansion has been a central pretext for Russia's aggression against Ukraine, undergirding its invasions and annexations. Now, if Putin is willing to countenance these Western-style security guarantees, it may signal an opening, however narrow, toward a diplomatic resolution. European leaders did not waste time mobilizing. A high-level delegation, including Presidents Macron, Starmer, Prime Minister Meloni, Chancellor Merz, NATO Secretary-General Rutte, and European Commission President von der Leyen, announced their intent to accompany President Zelenskyy to Washington. Their goal: to ensure Kyiv secures meaningful and enforceable security assurances, not vague promises. Ukrainian President Zelenskyy welcomed the news but emphasized the need for substance. Security guarantees must really be very practical, delivering protection on land, in the air and at sea, and must be developed with Europe's participation, he said. That insistence reflects lingering skepticism, especially given Ukraine's reliance on assurances rather than enforceable defense, reminding many of the unfulfilled guarantees from the 1994 Budapest Memorandum. At the same time, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio struck a more cautious tone, underlining that any formal U.S. security guarantee would be a very big move, and ultimately the president's decision to make. He also noted that both Ukraine and Russia would have to make concessions for a peace agreement to emerge. Behind the scenes, negotiations appear to involve sensitive territorial considerations. Reports suggest Russia may demand control over Donetsk and the broader Donbass region in exchange for a cessation of hostilities and Russia's agreement to freeze other battlefronts. Ukraine's constitution prohibits territorial concessions, and Zelenskyy has rejected such terms. As this diplomatic choreography unfolds, European leaders seem determined to shield Kyiv from undue pressure. Their presence at the Washington talks is as much a strategic counterweight to Trump's perceived sympathies toward Moscow as it is a display of unity behind Ukraine's sovereignty. The overarching question remains: will these proposed security guarantees be operationally credible and enforceable? Or will they dissolve into symbolic rhetoric? The timing is delicate. Amid relentless Russian attacks on Ukrainian cities, including recent strikes in Kharkiv and Sumy, the urgency for a durable peace mechanism that protects Ukraine is acute. The United States and Europe may now be recalibrating, moving away from a ceasefire-first approach toward a broader peace framework embedded with deterrence and mutual defense. Still, momentum toward a comprehensive peace deal is faltering. Putin continues to demand concessions, Trump has dropped his ceasefire demand in favor of a full peace agreement, and Ukraine remains resolute in its refusal to yield territory. European leaders are pushing back, insisting that any deal must preserve Ukrainian integrity and security, and be supported by both US and European mechanisms. In summary, the apparent Russian acquiescence to NATO-style US and European security assurances marks a watershed moment, if real. Ukraine's leadership and Western partners are magnifying the spotlight on protection that is solid, enforceable, and not mythical. Yet the outcome hinges on delicate leadership decisions, territorial standoffs, and whether peace can be negotiated under intense pressure, and whether Western commitments can finally match their